today you're going to be watching me cry about my love for BTS. Yay! I don't really have any ARMY merch on me right now because I'm not a fake fan. I just don't want to wear it. All of them are the bulletproof stuff anyway, and my Speak Yourself tour shirt, I don't know where it is, so we're gonna have to deal with this purple love, 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 love. Because boy with love, 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 love with purple. But I hate it. You know? It's not an actual BTS shirt, I just thought it would be cool. Plus, I got it during Pride Month, so hey. Accompanying me will be my first taste test of the cold brew Babinski BTS coffee. It's Americano flavored, so I don't know if I'll like it or not. It says to shake well, and I will be drinking it throughout my entire thing because I'm kind of sleep deprived. Actually, I'm more awake than I usually am, but I'm still sleep deprived nonetheless. Okay, I think I shook it well enough. Hopefully it doesn't like pop on me. Ah. Just tastes like water. What the frick? I don't really like it. I'll still drink from it anyway because I spent money on this. I spent like $3. I have stated in my last video, which is my Euphoria reaction video, that I've stan BTS for about 5 years and this is their 6-year anniversary. So how is that possible? I stan them around when they released Just One Day, so around School Love Affair era, but still when they were promoting. So it's sort of like School Love Affair centric. So I stan them for that long, so I was able to see their like Japanese debut and their first festa where they recorded a song called, what is it? I forgot what it was. So 4 more. Yeah, okay. People always like talk about how like in their first festa they were in such a small room and they were in such a small room in a small dorm. They were in like a normal dorm and right now they're in mansions. I was able to see Danger, like the countdown clock. I remember I was like at home like anxiously like tugging on my hair, looking at the countdown to see which thing will come out next. I made a Tumblr account because like I remember the BTS episodes at the time show that Taehyung was cutting his bangs from his wig and then he got embarrassed and everyone made fun of him. Good times. I even remember when like BTS were going to win an award, we're so close to winning an award for Danger, but they didn't. And honestly, to be honest, I'm kind of glad that they didn't. It wasn't really showing their true like potential when it comes to music and concept wise. So when they released I Need You, or like the most beautiful moment of my life, it was when they started getting popular like in Korea, because they were like getting already popular in the US thanks to what is it, America Hustle Life. Even though I was only a stan of them for a year, I got concert tickets for them and I'm super excited that I did. The events of like I Need You and like the most beautiful moment of my life, so when they started getting popular in Korea, that was probably like not only my darkest moment in my life, but it was also sort of theirs, like in their career. When they got their first win and when they started like getting attention, they started getting a lot of hate from like popular fans. Every single action they made has always like affected them hugely in the end. And like it has like been a big impact negatively on them. They are going through so much. Like I was struggling through depression and friend problems and like a lot of anxiety, and they were struggling through like the pressures that they have gotten because of their upcoming fame. A lot of people don't remember this because they weren't fans at the time, but for like fans who have been there since like I Need You or even way before, who have gotten to witness this, Namjoon sort of made some unnecessary comments when he had an American interview. I think it was an American interview. It was an English interview for sure. He said some stuff about Taehyung and jhope. I'm pretty sure like he apologized for it later on because he's obviously grown. Like, I'm not even going to begin. I know a lot of people will always say, but Namjoon did this, but Namjoon did that. And I was able to see like the stuff that Namjoon did that people keep on ringing up for, like, but Namjoon. A person doesn't need to publicly apologize if they've shown that they've actually like learned from their mistakes. Namjoon obviously has learned from it because after said incidences, you don't see him doing anything similar again. In fact, he's like more cautious of what he does now. Anyway, continuing on. So after he made those comments, a lot of people are upset at BTS. So I was like on my way to New York to watch the Red Bullet in New York City. I don't have any things with me right now, but like I do remember that I got like a fan slogan and like a little band. I knew like one girl who got the meet and greet. She literally figured out she got meet and greet while in line. And this is important because I'll bring it up later on. Even though BTS wasn't too well known as they are now, the line was still like really big when we were lining up for the concert. Like a lot of people were starting to notice and a lot of people pointed us out. They're like, hey, who are those people lining up for? It's such a long line. And we had to explain that it was a concert for BTS. We got to see them, but then it sort of ended short. I'm pretty sure like a lot of fans prior to this event already knew the set list, but I wasn't aware of the set list until like afterwards. But like even I knew like it shouldn't have ended that short, like that abruptly. They only sang one song for the end and it was Road. And then after Road, they literally went backstage and every army started singing I Need You as an encore. And everyone was so confused. And while I was waiting for everyone to like leave, because like I knew there was a meet and greet, so I thought I would have to wait like a really long time, I did not. And that was because there was a gun threat. Because of Namjoon's recent incident at the time, someone from Canada made a threat that they were going to the New York concert with a gun. And they were going to shoot Namjoon. I want to believe that Namjoon said he wanted to sing one song even though they wanted to end the concert immediately. But they ended the concert with Path and then they went on their way. So while I was waiting for everyone to leave, I saw like a bunch of armies just leaving the room in tears because they wanted to do the meet and greet so bad, but they weren't able to. I just saw a lot of armies just like crying and like people saying, I'm glad that they're doing this because they want to keep the guys safe, but like this is just so stupid. Like I heard a lot of that and I was just so like shook. I was so like shaken up that I think I wasn't able to like properly have a conversation for like 2 days in New York. I wanted to like tour the city with my family, but I wasn't able to because I was just so emotional that I found like no joy in everything. Because of that, I don't think I was able to like catch up to BTS stuff anymore. Around that same time as well, like around the time span of like I Need You and before Run for sure, they started opening up the V app and BTS were starting to get like episodes such as like BTS Gayo or BTS Run, and I thought I would be able to catch up to those stuff, but I wasn't, and I don't know, and like at the time I don't know why, but looking back at it now, I think it was because after the concert I was sort of avoiding BTS in a way. Like I was still like very much their fan, so I just sort of like stood by them, but like sort of with like caution, like sort of a distance, because I was worried that I would get hurt again. Ever since then, I've always wanted to like get a like chance at BTS again. I've always wanted to get like a concert ticket for them again, and I wasn't able to do it until this year. But I will go much into that later and probably in another video, like more into depth into the concert. I'm just going to talk about like the overview. Now I'm going to talk about something personal to me. The person who was the reason why I was able to go to the concert in general was my mom. Around the time my mom was like struggling with like getting a job, she was struggling through her like physical and mental health for a while. She was working at like a nail salon for a while and she was obviously like not having it. Like she kept it inside, but she was like not having it like at all. She's been like applying and reapplying to jobs till finally she just sort of like decided to like go into the unemployed route. I don't know. The whole entire family were aware of the situation, like the financial situation, that my dad was getting like really wary. So when I got the tickets, my dad was just like, we're not gonna do it. And then when I suggested that we're gonna go to New York, he's like, we're not going to do it. So I got really like depressed because I wanted to see them. Like even before, like now, like before I got like way too deep into the BTS route, I really wanted to see them. I always talked about them to my mom. I call it taehyung đẹp trai, which is pretty boy in Vietnamese. I was just like telling my mom that I really wanted to see them. I really wanted to see Đẹp Trai, and she was just like, you know what, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna tell your father that we're gonna go to fucking New York City. And she did. And I'm really happy for that. It was probably like one of the things that I'm really grateful for my mom for doing, besides like being really nice to me and always being there for me. Once we got back from the New York trip though, that was when like my mom went through some health struggles. She was beginning to feel really ill, that she had to go to the hospital because she was diagnosed with cancer. Because of the fact that she was diagnosed with cancer, I just associate most of my memories, most of my memories at the time with like going to the hospital and like walking around, because sometimes I didn't want to be in the same room. Staying in a hospital room for like more than 2 hours in a hospital room is not my cup of tea. So whenever my dad was around, I would always ask to take a walk because I really didn't want to be in a hospital room. While this was all happening, the prologue trailer with Butterfly got out, and I've always like watched it over and over again. Like literally, if I watch the video right now, I'll just associate it with the hospital. The memories affect me so much that when I listen to Butterfly prologue mix right now, I think of my mom. They were going to the peak of their Korean career as soon as like Fire came out. That was sort of like the light of my life, basically, because at the time I was still like in a really crappy school with really crappy people who weren't willing to be my friends. I was starting to see some positives in that school, even though I moved out like later on. Fire didn't affect me until like I joined my K-pop group for the first time. I was in a dance group and I learned how to dance to Fire. It was like one of the first BTS songs I actually like learned really well, that I still remember the movements. And it's really special to me because that was when I started finding my own family. That was not my own family. Prior to like all the BTS stuff, that was also when I was starting to drift away from my family and my cousins specifically. Time moves on. A lot of songs go by. I'm not going to go too much into like blood, sweat, and tears, besides like the solos being really personal for me. I will mention the solos that hit me hard. I'm going to mention Awake and Mama, specifically Mama, and I will go into depth with that later on. So the year rolls by and nothing really happens, like nothing really significantly happens in that year between BTS and I, besides me just like casually standing them. When they started getting popular in America, that was like around like Blood, Sweat, and Tears. This was when they got their first like BBMA Top Social Award, and I was like very proud. Like I literally turned on my TV and watched them really proudly. My mom even told me that Namjoon had really good English, and they were like, my parents were really impressed by BTS, and I was just so happy to like see them there. I was like, holy shit. Right before, I was just like a normal stan. I was just like a casual stan, and like they were so little, and now they've gotten to America. I wonder how far it'll lead them. And it led them far. It really led them far. Towards the end of 2017 and the beginning of 2018, when they were starting to get like well known in America. At the time, like, school-wise, I was going through really good stuff actually. Like I thought like my school year was gonna be pretty good, pretty memorable. I started joining a theater class, and that was when I started to like sort of open up more. I even sang Mama for my collaborate solo. The place I went to, I had like a sort of monthly thing every other month that was like associated with the holiday. It would have like these special performances called collaborates, where like a bunch of like people from other schools would come into like the building and perform their own act, whether it be like a poem, dancing, acting, or singing. One of them I sang Mama for. I sang my own English lyrics for it. When I was looking at the translations while I was writing the lyrics in the hospital, because my mom was in the hospital again, she was always in and out, but this time she was like very much in. While I was writing the lyrics for it, I just like in the cafeteria of the hospital, I was just like very deep into my mind. I was like very thinking of how to like rap it and how to like sing it. I even went to like this musical called Pippin that my drama teacher was in. I got inspired from like one lady, I forgot her role, but there was like a little presentation thing back behind her where like the people were able to sing the lyrics with her. So I got that inspiration and I put that into Mama, where I like wrote lyrics on the poster board and I had everyone sing with me, and that was probably like one of the best nights in my life, because even though my mom was too sick to be there and my dad was too busy taking care of my mom to be there, I still had a really good time and I got to see my mom afterwards. I didn't want to do mama at first, like I didn't think of doing mama at first. I was thinking of doing a week, but I was afraid that like it was gonna be too depressing for like such a happy time. But I think I'll probably like post my cover of it later on with my lyrics, but like the lyrics were very depressing. It was just basically about how like I would never compare myself to like being as great as some of my friends are, like as talented as some of my friends are, and I still feel this to this day. But like I feel like nowadays I feel like I love myself a little bit more than I did before, thanks to BTS. Love yourself, bitch. And my mom was at a rehab center. One of the things I will be thankful for my family for, like my cousins specifically, is like having my back on like one of the bad days I've had. I was unable to go to like the Christmas celebration, so my cousins decided to give me some gifts, which were all BTS related. But one of the gifts like really made my day, because I was having a bad friend day that time, and I was at the rehab and I was just sort of like really depressed. And then they came over and they decided to give me my gift. And one of them decided to give me the Wings Tour DVD, and I have the photo book right here. The fact that she got that for me really made my day. For those who don't know already, I love Taehyung from BTS. I opened the photo book. The photo card looks really ugly right now because like it's so like it's been through a lot. But I got a V photo card and I was just so happy. I was like, wow, this is really funny. How did I get my favorite BTS member from like out of luck? They left, so then I turned to my mom and I showed her the photo card. I was like, look, mom, is Dep Jai. Pretty boy. She was like really weak at the time, but she held it and then she kissed it. Then she gave it back to me and I felt really happy. And that was sort of when I knew that I was going to be in the BTS like fandom for life. That was, well, not for life, but for a very long time. My mom passed away January 19th, 2018 at 4:50 p.m. In the rehab center that she was at. It was really hard the next coming week, but I was able to regain myself later on as like I started like looking back and listening to Wings again. And I forgot to mention this, but there is another song from the Wings soundtrack that has impacted my life in a positive way, and it was First Love by Suga, because that song is when I realized that I knew what to do with my life. Like I knew what I wanted to do for my future. That was when I realized that I wanted to be a musician. During Wings era, I only listened to that song and I was like thinking, oh, it's just like a normal song. But like when I looked into the lyrics and like knew about Yoongi's history, because I also like deeply connected with the last about like his struggles with like depression and like anxiety. So like when I had that and I put it into like the lyrics of First Love, and how like a lot of people were saying no to his dream of being a musician, I just sort of felt like we were in the same position, because I wanted to be a musician, but like every single traditional Asian parent always wants you to have like a professional career, which is like doctor, lawyer, or like someone in finance. But I wanted something in the artistic route, which a lot of people would like look at it and be like, you're gonna go broke. So I don't know if you want to do that, but I wanted to do it because like the moment I listened to that song and found the true meaning in it, I knew that this was what I wanted to be. I knew I wanted to be a musician, and I knew I was serious about it, that I wanted to make it come true. So I decided to take a music computer technology class where I was able to like produce my own music and be able to learn how to make it a thing. And I'm glad I took it because like I used a program called Pro Tools, which DJ Swivel used for Euphoria, and Euphoria is going to be an important song later on. So like towards the end of the year, I was going through a lot of anxiety, specifically during Fake Love era, because I was just like having nothing with like my friends, and I was just feeling really sad, like anxious. I was afraid that all my friends hated me, and even then BTS's music sort of comforted me. They were becoming one of the biggest groups ever, in not only in Korea but like in so many more, like all over the world. They were being more well known, like more than they were before. During that time, I always looked back at like the past of how like I knew them for so long, that it feels sort of like a bragging right that I could be able to be like, I was there since the beginning. And that was when Jin released Epiphany. And when I first listened to the song and looked at the lyrics, I was just like so moved. I was like, wow, this song is like so good. I wish I could do that to myself. And I did. I did learn how to love myself. I did learn that I had more self-confidence, and I was able to sing that song for one of my last performances in Virginia. Yeah. Woo! Virginia. During the summer, I went to go to Seattle, and I visited this school. My dad wanted to go to Seattle for family reasons, but he also took that as an opportunity for me to like check out the schools there. And it was probably like the moment I knew, like the first love moment I knew, because I knew I wanted to go to that school so bad that I was just gonna work and work until I was able to go there. So I did get accepted into there, yay! So I wrote my college essay about how I wanted to be a musician, and I just basically said that I wanted to like bring light into other people's lives. I wanted to be able to like, I didn't say it in that essay, but like what I'm going to say right now is just I wanted to be what BTS is to me. I wanted to be like an inspiration for people. I want to be able to be like the other person if like they're going through something. I wanted to be the voice that said, hey, you can do this, you can get through this, and also I'm here for you and I love you. I just wanted to be someone positive through my music, because I knew I couldn't do it in other aspects, because if I did, I would just like mess up. But like I knew that I could do it in one thing that I'm good at, and that was music. And that's basically all I can say for that. I had like a college audition at another school. My audition process went really bad, and I felt like all of the teachers, like all of the people who were at the audition who were judging me, they were so ashamed. They kind of felt embarrassed by me. So I just felt really embarrassed by that I just really wanted to like leave. I really wanted to go home, and I was just so distraught. But on the same day I had to watch the Love Yourself tour, so I was just sort of like sucking it up, like towards like after I got the car ride home from it, and I decided on that day that I wasn't going to let that what people think of me get to me. So I didn't want to overthink about what people thought of me. I just didn't want to think about a person's negative opinion on me, and I didn't want it to change me. When it comes to like people who do like me, I would just be like, okay, they like me, that's good. But like when it comes to people that I'm sure don't like me, I'm just going to be like, okay, they don't like me, that's okay, that's fine, I don't care. Because before I would always be like, they don't like me, there's something I'm doing wrong, and I need to fix it. But now I'm just sort of like, okay, they don't like me, that's fine, it's cool, whatever. That's just sort of the mindset I've been going through, and that probably was what got me through the year. And that was like on my own. But like, I'm pretty sure that like the BTS songs, like the Love Yourself, because like this was like when I was like finally connecting with BTS. I was finally loving myself, and they were finally loving themselves. So it was just sort of like a wavelength thing, because I wasn't totally dependent on them. Most of this self-loving came from my thoughts. They was just sort of there to like push me up. Come on, Don, suck it up, you little bitch. Okay, so as this year progressed by, I was realizing that this was like one of the only years that I was starting to finally enjoy the state of Virginia, because prior to this, I was just having a lot of bad months with a lot of bad people in my life, and the only people that I was like actually giving care to were BTS and like my friends from other countries and other places in the world. That it was just sort of like, there's nothing holding me back here. I might as well move. I was set on the decision of going to Seattle, which is like across the country from me. But then this year made me realize that there are some people that actually care about me. There are some people that like want me to stay. There are some people that like are holding me back. So I had like a concert solo that I had to sing for. I've been thinking about this, like what I was going to sing for this solo for like the whole entire year. I was struggling between Epiphany and Euphoria, but I'm so glad that I chose Euphoria in the end and Epiphany for the other. Because Euphoria, I wrote it with the thought of my friend. It can be up to your own interpretation, but like a lot of people think it's just a love song, like finally falling in love, and you're like falling in love with this person is like a dream. So I just wanted to write Euphoria as if like this whole entire year for me was a dream with the people that I got to spend it with this year, and that I'm finally waking up and I gotta go to Seattle. The summary of the reality in euphoria is that the realization that I've had so many bad years prior to this, and that the dream was this 1 year in Virginia, while the reality was like the past years, because one can't outweigh the other. So I was just sort of like waking up and seeing my escape, and then I had to go, and it's really sad to go because I'm finally like waking up from this dream, and I'm gonna be somewhere new, and like the people that made my dream come true, the people that made me appreciate this place I was at, was my real life friends who were there for me for the whole entire time. And I just wrote that song and thought of them, and I sang it, and like I had them back up the vocals. So now I'm getting really emotional as I'm explaining this. So if you're watching this and you're getting emotional too, that's why Euphoria hits really home to me. And I think it's funny how like it's basically like mirroring the prologue trailer, but in a positive way, so that only one is suffering while the others are okay, and the others aren't suffering while one of them is okay. Even though it's like so much into it, I won't even go into it because I don't even know the freaking theories. I don't care about the theories. Now I'm gonna go into Epiphany. Okay, I'm gonna go into Epiphany. I'm gonna go into Epiphany right now, and I won't cry. Epiphany is basically my reflection of the whole entire year, as I'm trying to love myself, as I'm beginning to love myself. So it's basically me from late January to that one May day. It was basically me saying that I should love myself. I am the one I should love in this world. I don't need the validation from other people. I don't need to listen to them. I need to like go on my own path, my own way, I gotta go my own way. I need to focus on my career. I need to focus on my life, and I need to focus on myself. I can't focus on what other people think of me in order to like make it like change me. I'm the one that should change myself. I'm the one that should love myself. I'm the one that I should seek validation from, not anyone else. Like sure, I can get it from other people, but like I'm the captain now. So that's basically like the message I was trying to bring in Epiphany, and I'm so glad that I like met this one friend and got closer to her this year, because she told me that while I was singing to Epiphany, she was just she was just bawling out because she realized the message of it, and she was just I think she was just really proud of me. Speak Yourself was arguably one of the best concerts I'll ever have in my life, because it was sort of like a redo of what happened in the Red Bullet, except it was in such a bigger place. Like, I'm not gonna go too deep into it because I'm gonna make a whole video dedicated to it, but Yoongi was like saying how like when they were in New York, they passed by like the one theater they were in, like they started their like first tour in, which was the one in New York, and how it was like so small, and here they are in MetLife Stadium, and I was just so emotional because I was there from the beginning, and I was there at like their last day in America, like their last concert day in America. So it was just I was just going through it, and I don't know why I didn't cry at the concert at all. I was just so happy. And then like after the concert, I actually like experienced like post-concert depression. Not like the super huge, just like after post-concert depression, where it's just sort of like I was actually depressed. Like it was more like depression at the time. But now it's just sort of like, wow, I really miss them and I want them back. When are they coming back? That's basically like what makes it much better. I was able to like experience like an actual happy concert with them. Oh my god, it was just really good for me. Like after going to that concert, like there were so many complications that followed afterwards, but like at the end of the whole experience, when I came back to Virginia, and when I was just like in class, like thinking about it, I was thinking of it so fondly. Like it was just deep into my memory, and I'm just like, I'm so glad that I went. I'm so glad that I got to experience it all. And I'm so glad it was with them. I'm really glad it was with them. I feel like even though not all the people I want to be there are in my life right now, I'm like not all the people I want to be in my life right now are there. I'm just so glad that I got to experience everything because of them, and I'm so glad that they're the reason why I'm here right now. I'm so happy. So BTS, thank you so much. If you're watching this, I don't think you are because this video is so long, but BTS, thank you so much for being thank you for being the reason why I'm here right now. You are the reason why I'm pretty sure. You aren't the reason why I'm living right now, but you are the reason why I'm still going on. You guys haven't saved my life, but you guys have made it much better than it would have been before. And I'm really thankful because you guys helped me make so many friends, and you guys helped me open up more to people and be more of myself than a replica of someone else. And I'm just so happy that I got to be able to like witness you from the start to now. And I'm really happy that I got to be such an army for so long. 바라해요. 사랑해요. I think that's all I can say right now. I want to say more, but I feel like I can't. I feel like I've said enough. I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say right now. I'm gonna go into Speak Yourself later on. I know it's overdue. It's been like 3 weeks, but I will go into it later on. I will, and I will just explain more of my happiness there. But this for now, my video is over, and like my camera's probably going through it, so I'm just gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you have went through all of this, I will see you soon. Bye bye.